So the other thing is, as you had mentioned a little bit earlier, is there was a lot of complexities about the cancellation of tickets. And airlines had different rules, and those rules were changing rapidly, especially when you talk about a global world that we live in and that we travel in. So the first thing that we did at PredictX, we actually developed an entire new module to support this because we had 360 view. Because we were receiving TMC, GDS, credit card, expense data, we could follow it all the way through for our customers. But it showed you there was a need out in the marketplace because of the complexities. And interestingly enough, our source for what the rules were ARC. Found that it was the most reliable source of all things about managing through that complexity. So could you elaborate a little bit more about what ARC was doing around that? Because it really was our go-to and really helped us to better service our customers.
Yeah, happy to. We have a group of customers that we call our Travel Executive Council. It's senior people from the top 25 agencies. And we met with them, early in the crisis and, asked them what can we do to help. And they were talking about this just nightmare of trying to navigate these refund policies that were understandably, extremely fluid. And so, we thought, well, that's something that we can do. So we worked with the airlines and put together on a web page that offered all the information about, there's 230 some airlines participating in ARC, and they each have their own refund policies, their own exchange policies. Over time, they often wanted to start to extend their validity dates. Typically, an airline ticket used to be pretty uniformly valid for, 13 months, the exchange value of that ticket. But with this crisis, some airlines were saying, hey, we want to extend that validity date, allow people more time to reuse those funds. So we put the webpage together that really just made it easy for an agency or anyone interested in the topic to see for every airline, what was their policy, were they participating in the GDS for refunds or not? Because for an agency, that's if you can't refund in the GDS, then you got to do it directly with the airlines. That's a big exception process, right? And we spent a lot of time and energy trying to talk airlines into not leaving the GDS because it's just so much more efficient for the agency, and the data stays whole for them. But some still chose to do refunds outside of the GDS. Some left the GDS and came back because they found themselves that it was easier to keep it in there. But anyways, a very moving situation. We also created links for to the policies, to the actual detailed policies on the airline website. So it's really just a source, to a go-to place that would take you to wherever you needed to be. Turned out to be really like the most popular part of our website. First is that, and second was the free data that we did with BCG, the analysis, the trip portal that you mentioned earlier. I would add, IATA also did a real service to a lot of, we have a lot of agencies in common, of course, multinational agencies and their own regional agencies, because a lot of airlines, especially outside of the US, issued vouchers instead of refunds. And so there's a whole set of rules around vouchers. So they did we did one for refunds policies, and they did one for vouchers. So between the two sources, I think it was a small thing, but it was, I think, helpful to the industry.